On August 7th, a collection of 4 bipartisan senators sent a letter to tax regulators asking them to hold nonprofit hospitals more accountable. The letter was sent to the IRS Commissioner and the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. They asked the IRS to investigate the overbroad tax code and oversight of roughly $28 billion in tax exemptions. The letter argues that the tax code's definition of community care is way too broad. They said some hospitals are counting physician training as community care. Community care is meant to be those services that help vulnerable, underserved, or uninsured individuals in the community. They say that this broad definition has allowed nonprofit hospitals to avoid providing the necessary community care to populations that need it most. In the letter, the senators said that they were alarmed by reports that despite their tax-exempt status, certain nonprofit hospitals were taking advantage of the overly broad definition of community care or community benefits and engaging in practices that they said may not be in the best interests of the patient. They're concerned because nonprofit hospitals often receive federal and state subsidies and tax exemptions because of their nonprofit status. In return, they are then expected to provide some level of community care, such as discounted or free care to low-income populations. While the tax-exempt status of the nation's nonprofit hospitals was collectively worth about $28 billion in 2020, it paled in comparison to the amount of charity care hospitals actually delivered in that same time period. Reports actually show that many nonprofit hospitals are still actually engaging in aggressive collection actions at the same time. So here's what's next. The senators made some recommendations, and they said to the Treasury in particular, reply to us in 60 days and tell us the following. Give us information related to nonprofits' tax filings from the last several years. They said they want to see a list of the most commonly reported community benefit activities that qualified a nonprofit hospital for a tax exemption. They want to see if things like physician training appear on that list. They also want a list of the nonprofit hospitals that actually were flagged for not doing a good job of meeting their community benefit standards. They said they also want to see updates to upcoming reviews to evaluate standards for financial assistance, evaluate how often nonprofit hospitals bill patients with gross charges, and they want to ensure that the IRS is doing enough to push hospitals to make reasonable efforts to provide financial assistance before engaging in some of those extraordinary collection actions. You can read the letter that the senator sent. It's in the description below.